This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, here's my take on Kevin Durant. Shout outs to Tip Top, one of our subscribers. He was asking me to do a video on what my take is on Kevin Durant. Do I believe that he's going to stay, or do I believe if he's going to leave? I'm going to tell you like this, Tip Top. It's too early and it's too close of a decision for Kevin Durant to make at this point. And the reason why I'm saying this is because there's a lot of mitigating factors that's associated and involved into this. You got on one end some folks, saying that Bob Meyer was sincere, in what he said, when he came out in the media press and he spoke. There have been subliminal messages that Kevin Durant has been making that, he can't be, basically courted. He can't be basically, recruited, and I'm paraphrasing it. Those are not the exact ways that he said it, but it has a similitude to it somewhat. But basically, he's just trying to say that he is basically going to be the author and he's going to be the driving force behind what decision he makes. That's really the sum of all the parts in what he's basically trying to say. But I don't know. I can't give you a definitive answer on that. And the reason why I can't give you a definitive answer is because it goes against the grain of all of the fiber of the being of He Knows His Sport, right? Because how does He Knows His Sport operate in these fashions? He likes to wait until all of the facts come out. Everything is put out on Jump Street. I can't tell you something that I don't know the answer to. Anyone that does that is being highly irresponsible and negligent. I'm going to say that again. Anyone that's giving you an answer and they don't even know what the answer is and they're not the actual person themselves is being highly irresponsible and negligent. So I'm not going to sit here and give you an answer on something that I don't even know the answer to. Kevin Durant himself doesn't know what the answer to that is because he's going back and forth. Now, do I believe that what Bob Myers did when he came out and did that press conference, after Kevin Durant re-injured, he re-injured himself, right? And his calf 2 strain accelerated to a ruptured Achilles. The way that he spoke, and this, I try to tell people this stuff. And the way that man went, when you see a grown ass man do something like that, that's not fabricated, man. You can't fabricate those squeeches, man. You can't do that. Last time I checked, Bob Myers is not an actor. Last time I checked, he is not going through no acting school, right? Last time I checked, does he have an Oscars? No. So what kind of performance was he putting on, when he sat there and he couldn't continue to finish up what he was saying? It was sincere, man. He understood he fucked up. And he manned up. A lot of people not giving him credit, but I'm going to be one of the few people that's giving him credit. Because I'm not going to sit here and judge a person and say, oh, I knew what their intent was. Or, oh, he was just being, fake as fuck. Well, people that say that, again, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. I'm going to say it again. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Everyone's so quick to be critical. But no one sits back and do critical thinking. Let me say that again. Everyone is so quick to be critical, but no one goes back and does critical thinking. That's what separates, one person from the other. One person's actually being a deep thinker and actually listening to all of the facts and listening to everything, as opposed to someone who's jumping the gun and saying, oh, he's just being fake. How do you know? Are you inside that person? How do you know the person is being fake? Are you around them? It's clear that him and Kevin Durant have developed a great relationship because Kevin Durant has proven to people what you see is what you get. He wears his feelings on his sleeves. Anyone that knows Kevin Durant knows that about him. So if he had an issue with Bob Myers, it would have been evident a long time ago. Just like the issues he was having with Sam Presti and OKC. Those issues became prevalent years before Kevin Durant left. It's not like, oh my goodness, Sam Presti and everyone was just caught up. It was just such a world breaker. And, it was just such a surprise like what LeBron James did in the decision back in 2010. It wasn't nothing like that. But see, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. This is where you see the polarization of a Kevin Durant and how he's being treated is in contradiction with the way that LeBron James is being treated. But that's neither here nor there. We could talk about that on the flip side, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is this, and it's a very clear point, folks. I'm not in Bob Myers' head to sit here and tell you what that man was thinking. But one thing that I could tell you is, and it's clear, listening to both Bob Myers and listening to Kevin Durant, they both seem to have a very productive and positive relationship. Bob Myers is the GM. This is why this relationship is essential and important. Because Bob Myers is the one that's going to be able to reciprocate what Joe Lacob is feeling in terms of a contract that's going to be suitable and that's going to be beyond reasonable for a guy like Kevin Durant of his superstar order and of his high degree and caliber. So I say all of this to say this. I can't begin to tell you what the landscape of that trade is going to look like. Well, not trade, but the landscape of what that free agency is going to look like in terms of Kevin Durant. My bad, I misspoke with the trade part. I meant to say free agency. Kevin Durant has shown you guys, even with a ruptured Achilles, that there are 3 teams that are still interested in him. And trust me, it's going to be more than 3. Because they understand what they're getting in Kevin Durant. He's an over-the-top player. So he's going to make any team that he plays with over the top. The point that I'm trying to make is this. And this is the point. And folks got to understand this, man. And you just got to be clear about it. And you have to be honest. And you have to be objective about this. Not subjective, objective, folks. Kevin Durant is going to make the decision that's going to be in the best interest for Kevin Durant. I don't know what that decision is. You don't know what that decision is. Only Kevin Durant knows what that decision is at that time that he makes the decision. I don't even think he knows what the decision is right now. Because him going to Golden State, as you recall, was a back and forth deal. Every second he was changing his decision like toilet paper. I'm going to say it again. Every second he was changing his decision like toilet paper. I think to a certain degree it's going to be somewhat like this, but not as extreme. And the reason why I say not as extreme is for the simple fact of this, folks. It's for the simple fact that Kevin Durant will let you know what his decision is going to be at the time that he makes the decision. It's really that simple. Do I believe that Golden State Warriors has helped their cause in him possibly staying with them? Yes, I do believe that. Because of the fact that they showed that not only through the owner, when he came out way before the finals started and said, look, we're going to re-sign Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant will be the finals MVP. Obviously, that did not happen. But when the owner can get around a player who is the best player on that team and give that player all of the leeway and all of the confidence to know that he has his back, that's a big foot in the positive door. That's the way that I look at it. And then you got to also look at the landscape of the Golden State Warriors. I think Kevin Durant is also looking at the players and seeing what they're going to do. We know Stephen Curry is locked in because he signed that gamut of a contract, right? Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, now we're going to see what they are going to do. And I think Kevin Durant is going to sit back and watch those activities fall into play before he makes his decision. Because he's the number one guy and because he's a superstar of the highest order, he's not just going to come out and say, oh, I'm staying. I believe he's going to sit back and watch how the Klay Thompson situation unravels. I also believe he's going to sit back and watch how the Draymond Green situation is going to unravel before he could come and make a full decision on his end. That's what I believe. But I can't sit here and tell you, honestly, if he's going to leave or if he's going to stay. That is a decision that Kevin Durant himself can solely make, and he's going to make it at the time that's befitting for him. But if I'm the Golden State Warriors and I want to ensure that Kevin Durant returns, not only am I going to throw a fat contract at him, I'm going to make sure that I beef it up a little bit more. Make sure I add a few more insurances and assurances into that contract. And then also show that I'm being proactive and get another lethal guy on that team. If Golden State Warriors can show that they can get one more lethal guy, like they did last year where they got DeMarcus Cousins. If they could show that they could get something like that again, I believe that's going to have Kevin Durant say to himself, man, not only is this team taking care of me financially, but they're also continuously making strides in the right direction. And if Golden State Warriors does that, then that puts them in the driver's seat. Plus, they have that one more year of assurance and insurance for Kevin Durant in terms of his financial viability. So Kevin Durant, when it's all said and done, the decision is going to be in his hand, and he's going to make what's best for him. And we just all have to sit back and wait and see what that decision is going to be. This is Hinos' Sport. Checking out.